Good morning, adventurers. My name is Ben, and welcome to a morning show where I sit around, drink some tea, and talk about D&D. So, first thing on the docket today, excuse me, is that we don't really have any new news in terms of actual strictly Wizards D&D news. We have gotten through a lot of that in the last few days, so not super surprised on that one. The only thing that we have is that tomorrow, Critical Role has their State of the Role at noon Eastern Time, where they're going to be announcing stuff about their third campaign. So if you're a Critical Role fan, if you're looking to get into it, look forward to that. It'll be over on their Twitch, and I'm sure they'll be live on YouTube as well. That's twitch.tv/Critical Role or their YouTube channel, Critical Role. In terms of streams that are happening today, the only one that I know of, again, is at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Dropout. Episode 7 of The 7 is airing, which should be, once again, phenomenal. The 7 has been a lot of fun. It's been really, really cool to get to watch as it's been coming out. So if you are into that, go ahead and check that out then. Moving on from both of those things, today on T&D, I am drinking out of a Stone Creek Coffee, which is a coffee shop up in Wisconsin, mug. I got this mug because I liked the colors and because it has a narwhal and a unicorn on it. Yeah. It also says "Crush It," really little right there. If I get the nope, camera's not going to focus. There we go. So I really like this mug. Also, it's a good wide mug, so that's always a good thing for me. I don't have too many of these, so I really like this one. I am drinking a Monk's Blend tea, which is a black tea, boiling water, 3 to 5 minutes. That is spiced. I think it's got sunflower petals in it as well. It's really good. It's really nice. It's like vanilla-y almost. I don't know. It's really good. I would recommend getting a sample somewhere if you can. Okay. So moving on from all of that, we are headed into what we're doing today. And today is actually going to be a little bit different. I'm sorry, I'm moving the camera because I'm erasing the stuff that's on my board right now. Because today we are going to be making a character. Why would we be making a character? We already did Character Week. Well, because coming out in sometime in the month of October, coming up soon, I'm going to be playing in a streamed game with a bunch of other people who are relatively big on D&D TikTok. Most of them, actually, yeah, pretty much all of them are bigger than me. I am the small fish in that game. But it is going to be run by the evil queen herself, Miss Brooklyn Tuesday. I will have her on this show to do some kind of an interview. We'll talk about it. We'll plug the show a little bit. And we'll talk about whatever she wants to talk about when we get to that point. But we are going to be making my character live on video for you here. I know I say live on video like it's actually live. But this is what I got for you. So we are going to be making the character for that game right here, right now. Hopefully this is going to be at least kind of interesting for you guys. So we are going to see how this goes. Brooke has a couple of very specific things that she has us do when we're making characters. So if there's something that seems a little weird, I promise it's supposed to be in there. I'll kind of explain it as we go. But the first thing that I want to put out there is that I am making a character that is going to be connected via backstory with one of the other players' characters, Jenny from Just Jenny TV or Just Jenny _ on Twitch. We are making characters with connected backstories, which is really fun. I've always wanted to do that, and I haven't played in enough games with people that I know well enough for long enough to make it worth doing. So it is interesting, or is going to be interesting, to see how this all works out. So we are making a level 4 character today, and I am excited because usually you don't start out at level 4. You start out either 3 or 5, and so 4 lets you get that first ability score increase in there, and you move on from there. Now, the way that Brooke has this roll ability scores is she wants you to roll 3 sets of 6 scores with the 46 drop the lowest method. However, She also wants you to re-roll ones indefinitely until you get something that is not a one, which leads you to having higher scores, obviously. But she wants you to do that because she wants to then punish you a little bit, if I'm being honest. So that's the way we're doing it. I have already rolled up 2 sets of scores because I don't want to have to make you guys sit there and listen to Dice Clatter forever, because that honestly doesn't sound like the most fun thing to have to listen to as somebody's recording a video. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start doing that. First roll, I got a 12 on. Second one, I got an 11 on. I did have one from earlier that was particularly good, which I am kind of excited about. And it's probably going to be the one I end up using unless this one turns around for me here, because so far I've gotten a 12, 11, and 10, which is just great. Okay, 15. That's not terrible. And by not terrible, I mean 15 is actually very good under normal circumstances. Don't get me wrong there. That's a 14. Also pretty good. And actually, so far, I haven't had to re-roll any ones yet. So that's actually there we go. There's a 1 on the last one. That gives me a 13 on that one. So for that last set, I rolled a 12, an 11, a 10, a 15, a 14, and a 13, which honestly is a pretty good ability score set normally. It is not going to be the one that I end up using. I am going to use that first one that I had, which has, it's got a 10, a 12, a 13, a 15, an 18, and a 9. And really the 2 that I am excited about in that score are the 18, obviously, and the 9, because I've talked about it on this show before. I love having one really low score. And again, actually, honestly, to be clear, 9 is not terribly low. You just happen to have a negative modifier in it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to punch those guys in to my scores here. So I know that I want to play a Druid. I am excited about that because I have not gotten to play a Druid in a very long time. And I don't know. I haven't gotten to play a Druid as a player it's pretty much since I've started playing, and it was in a one-shot, I want to say, that I did that. So I'm excited to get to actually do this as a player properly for the first time in a while now. We'll punch the 13 in dexterity and the 12 in intelligence. Okay, so the way that I spread those out, we have a 10 in strength, a 13 in dexterity, a 15 in constitution, a 12 in intelligence, an 18 in wisdom, and a 9 in charisma. We are using the Tasha's rules for race, which is probably good. It's going to be the way it's going to be moving forward, it looks like. So that is good, which means that I will be able to move my ability scores wherever I need to, which is helpful because otherwise it would not be particularly conducive to be a goblin, as we are going to be. Let's see. Origin manager, ability score increase. There we go. So I'm going to take my 2 ability score bump. I'm going to put it in my wisdom, and I'm going to take my 1 and put it in constitution. So I'm really just shifting the 2 over to constitution, or 2 over to wisdom instead of dexterity, and leaving constitution where it is at, which gives me ultimately totals at first level here. 10 for strength, 13 for dexterity, 16 for constitution, 12 for intelligence, 20 for wisdom, and 9 for charisma. So that is what we are starting off with, and then we are going to go into our druid here. Add druid, bump it to level 4. Exciting stuff. We are going to take proficiency in perception, and let's take proficiency in, I'm going to call it medicine as well, which I know is an intelligence-based skill, which doesn't always make the most sense, but I think I'm going to be playing this character as a little bit more like nervous and reserved almost, because normally I'd go with like insight or something, but I don't really want him to be able to read the people around him. So we're going to go with medicine. Plus, I am looking at this as being the healer of the party so far, as I haven't really been able to look at what everybody else is doing, but I know that Jenny's definitively not doing a healer, And the only other person with a character that's finished so far in the campaign is, and by finished I mean they don't have a name either yet. I'm not naming this one right now. We're going to figure out what the names are and everything like that as we go. The only other person that has a finished character is a paladin, which is a pseudo healer, but not really what I'm going for. So I am actually going to go with Circle of the Stars, which I am excited about. I have a high level NPC Circle of the Stars Druid in my home game right now, and I really, really like the Stars features. Um, Honestly, I like the versatility of Druid. I like Wild Shape as a whole, but limiting it to just being able to turn into stuff has always felt a little bit like closed off to me. And so all of these things that give you other features that you can use your Wild Shape for, I actually really, really like. I know it's not necessarily the most popular thing to do with your Wild Shape uses, but I think it's a really good option, and I think it's really cool to do. And so we are going to take, for our ability score improvement, because our wisdom is at 20 already, and that can't go any higher. That would be normally what I'd be looking at bumping. I'm going to actually take a feat at 4 instead, and we are going to go ahead, and we are going to take the, where are you? Eldritch Adept feat, which lets me pick up an Eldritch Invocation from the Warlock class, assuming I have the ability to do it. And I have already gone and looked at what I want to do. I want to do the Gaze of Two Minds, which lets me use an action to touch a willing humanoid within range, and then perceive through its senses until the end of my next turn, and keep that up as an action every turn until I decide I don't want to do that anymore. This is really good for a party with a good like rogue that will go ahead and scout ahead and stuff like that. And being that Jenny and I are playing characters with connected backstories, I think that it's going to be a good thing to just kind of have. Jenny isn't playing a magic user. I haven't looked at exactly what she's doing yet, and we haven't super talked about it yet, but she's not playing a magic user. She doesn't usually play magic users. And so even if, particularly if I play this character as like very nervous, if like she goes into a place and I stay outside and wait, it'll allow me to like see what's going on without having to actually go in, which will be actually very nice. So we have our race, class, and abilities. We are going to go to our background here, and we are going to. I didn't really pick out a background. Backgrounds are always a little like they're important, but they're not the most important thing in the world all the time. So I haven't super thought this one through, but it'll just give me skill proficiencies more than anything else. I think I might just go Outlander. I really like Outlander as a background. It's what my first character was. It always seems to fit with what I want to do, no matter how charismatic or not the person is that I'm playing. So I'm gonna go with Outlander, just because I like Outlander. We're gonna pick up. We're gonna learn how to play the horn, because that feels obnoxious and like a good choice there. And for our language, we will just go ahead and do. Let's do Primordial. In Brooke's world, goblins are usually out in the wilds, and so Primordial or Sylvan was kind of going to be my choice for that, because they're largely out in the wilds. We are, I think we're in the city. I'm not positive. We haven't gotten the full pitch yet for this section of it, but it never hurts to have the ability to speak Primordial in a world where the wilds are such a prominent thing. And so that seems like a good all-around choice for me there. Moving on to equipment, our starting equipment, we are going to pick up... honestly, we're not planning on using much of any of this sort of thing, because if nothing else, we can use the Archer form for Star Druid in order to just shoot stuff at people for a D8 plus Wisdom modifier every single turn. But we're going to be taking some control spells, some stuff like that. So I don't mind the equipment as much to begin with. but we'll pick up a wooden shield. We'll pick up a scimitar because why not? And then our spellcasting focus. Ooh, actually, spellcasting focus. I kind of want to be. Yeah, let's make it a U wand because that seems fun. Why not? Hit add starting equipment. I'm making this on D&D Beyond right now, which is why I am like reading off stuff and tapping through some things. That if that helps and makes any sense to you guys at all. Moving forward, we actually are done building the actual character now. But there's one more thing that we have to do. Brooke always lets her players take one additional feat at level 1 for free, which is in the same vein as like the 3 different ability score things. It's to help boost the player power because players are going to be kind of squishy and kind of weak no matter what, because that's how it goes. So I'm trying to decide between picking up the actually this will tell me. I'm trying to decide between picking up Meta Magic Adept and Tough, because I don't like going down, obviously. And I like Meta Magic a lot. So I'm trying to pick between the two of them. My Starry Forms let me do stuff as... Starry Form is a bonus action to activate, and Quicken Spell is one of the better Meta Magics to pick up, though you can only use it once. I think I'm going to go with Meta Magic nonetheless. Let me just make sure on that one. 2 Meta Magic options, 2 sorcery points. Yeah, let's just take a gander, see what else we got here, just to make sure. This is Warcaster could be good. Oriole's Blessing. Oh no, I don't want that. Okay. This is whenever I have like a floating ability score or somewhere to add a feat, it's always where I get bogged down and get kind of stuck because I'm trying to figure out what it is that I actually want to do because so much of it plays into the overall theme of the character. So I'm sorry that this is kind of terrible to just look at, but I'm working on it, I promise. Let's see. I love me a good telekinetic telepathic always. Particularly because we're playing connected characters, it could be cool to be able to talk to each other in our brains, but we don't, always need to be doing that. Part of me wants to take Warcaster as well, but I don't really need to, so I don't know about that. Let's see. Why don't I think we're gonna go with tough. No, we're not gonna go with tough. I think we're gonna go with the meta magic as again. I know I've gone back and forth on it a lot, but I think that's what we're gonna go with. And then we are going to pick up. We're gonna pick up Quicken Spell because I like Quicken Spell, and we are going to pick up Twin Spell. Because we can't cast spells over level 2, which is helpful, so we only have 2 sorcery points, and twinning a spell would require us to cast, or to use sorcery points equal to the level of the spell cast. So up to level 2, which is good. So that's what we're going to go with. And that is going to be all of our stuff in there. I will pick some spells. Let's see. Let's go ahead and let's grab our cantrips while we're just here and, sitting on it. It's not going to be anything too crazy. We'll pick up Primal Savagery because it's one of my favorite ones. I know it's not one of the best ones, but it is one of my favorite ones. I want some Mending because I love Mending. And I'm going to grab Yeah, I'm going to grab Shape Water as well, because why not? And then we've got 9 spells that we can learn. We need Healing Word. Obviously, we're going to grab some Cure Wounds. We are also going to go ahead and snag Long Strider and Jump. I love a good utility spell more than most anything else. Um, Fairy Fire is always good. Let's take a look at our second level spells. I don't want to get too far along here without having any of them. Um, let's Hold Person. Yeah, we're gonna go with Hold Person. Um, Healing Spirit. What do you got here? Um, yeah, we'll grab Healing Spirit. Why not? Um, let's see. Let's drop in. I mean, Moonbeam. I feel like I should pick up something that does some damage. I'm sure this will change as we go through too, because we're playing it for more than one day. But let's grab. Let's grab. Why not? Flaming Sphere. And there we go. That is our character right now. It is named Name question mark. So we'll come up with a name at some other point here. That is not a right now problem, but hopefully this was engaging to you guys in some capacity, because I know that it can be boring. Hopefully I kept talking enough even when I was just trying to think through some stuff. But that is everything that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this one. I really, really appreciate it. I'm really excited about this game. I hope that you guys will tune in when it comes out. I will obviously be talking a lot more about it as we go forward here, because I'm excited about it. I think everybody else is excited about it, and we are we're really proud of what we've already done with it, because we put a lot of work into it ahead of time. And we'll hopefully be able to give you guys a good finished product when we get to that point. But like I said, that is everything I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for making me part of your morning routine. Once again, if we hit 200 subscribers by October 1st, we are 50 away right now, I think, maybe a little bit less. I will start pushing this out as a podcast as well, because I want as many people to be able to enjoy the show as possible. So send it to your friends, send it to your family, tell people who you think might enjoy it, and get them subscribed and watching as well. Thank you guys very, very much, and thank you very much to my patrons, who are the ones that make this whole thing possible. Link to my Patreon is in the description below if you are enjoying the show and are able to support the show. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. But that is all for today, and come back tomorrow for obviously a little bit more excited about State of the Roll. And tomorrow I am talking about a third-party supplement that I am a big, big fan of, that actually you'll be able to see me working with on Sidetrack, this game that Brooke is running at some point here. So stay tuned, take a look at that, and until next time, keep on rolling.